like the best way to eat for that. You don't want a lot of white refined carbs, things like that. And I don't even have the whole grains. I just keep that out of my diet because I do overindulge in that when I do. Even Ezekiel bread. Any kind of carb like that, I'm gonna overdo because I like it. So I wanted to share some products that I found with you. As you can see, I have them in the background here. This right here, it's Tyson Grilled and Ready. Now, I've heard some kind of bad things about Tyson, how they inject hormones in your meat. But unless I'm going to go completely organic, I'm not going to be a hypocrite and not have Tyson, because I know all of the meats probably have hormones, which is not good for you. But I guess I could afford to go get completely organic food, or my husband would like to do completely kosher. It's just so expensive, and I don't trust in what, just because Central Market says it's organic and putting a big price tag on it, I still don't trust it, and that's just how I am. So anyway, this is the Grilled and Ready, and it's chicken breast strips, and I got these at Sam's, and this whole bag's probably about $11, and it lasts forever. And I started getting these when I was doing P2 of HCG, and I would use this with the P2 orange chicken. We still have P2 orange chicken. We have that about once every other week with cabbage. It is so good. But also for like a Caesar salad, or if you want to do a chicken chili, these are great because they don't take hardly any time to cook. And because they're already cooked, you just you put them in a pan with some coconut oil or olive oil, and they just get so good. And you can even dip them in your sauces if you like the Walden Farms. I'm not too keen on the Walden Farms. Also, this Laughing Cow. Now, this is not P2. It would be like P3. Laughing Cow cheese. They come in all different flavors. This one's a cinnamon and cream cheese. It is so good for like a breakfast if you kind of want something sweet, or dessert if you want something sweet. And then this is more savory. It's a mozzarella sun-dried tomato. But they have all different flavors, and these all for one wedge, and they're very portion controlled because they come in these little packets. So of course you can overindulge in them, but it's easier since they're each packaged like that. It's easier to control your portions. They have 45 calories per wedge, and one wedge is plenty. I mean, you really get such a good flavor from them, and it's a rich taste. One wedge is plenty. It has 4 grams of fat, 45 calories, and 2 carbs. So that's really great. It may have sugar in it. I don't know. I'm trying to read to see if it has sugar in it. Whew. Okay, it's very hard to read. Anyway, if you're going for low carb, these are great. If you're trying to stick to no sugar, you may want to check on them. This is the same calories and everything. And what I like to put these on are these things that I get at Central Market. They're called Kim's Magic Pops, and these are so good. Now they do have wheat in them, but it can't be very much wheat because they only have 4 carbs for an entire. The thing is like that big. That's it's round like a tortilla kind of, but it's crispy. Here, this is one. See, it's crispy, and they're so good, and you can spread peanut butter on it, and it's like it makes me think of a peanut butter cookie. Or you can spread the Laughing Cow on it, and it's just so good for breakfast. 15 calories and 4 carbs, and it doesn't really fill me up. If you're a big breakfast eater, it'd be more for a snack for you, but I just like to have something to take my vitamins with, and so my blood sugar, doesn't go all over the place. But anyway, I enjoy it. Also, if you try to do the apple cider vinegar, I know it's got such great health benefits, and you just can't get the taste down. A lady at they have this at Sprouts and at all the Whole Foods places like that. But I went to Natural Grocers, and the lady showed me to try it, and it's not that. It's it's not something I'm going to drink with ice and enjoy it, but a couple of swigs down, half a bottle is a serving, and a couple of swigs and you got your serving. But you got to be careful because not all of them are sugar free. This one actually has stevia in it. And then the rest of it is lime juice, apple cider vinegar, and distilled water. But it's not bad. I mean, if you really want to do the apple cider vinegar, I would try this. If you're not going to put it in, like sometimes I put it in a smoothie and you can't taste it, or I put it in some food and you can kind of taste it, but you can get it down still. But this is worth a try. It's like $1.99, so it's not as cheap as just going to get the regular apple cider vinegar, but you can at least get this down and you can get the benefits from it. Okay, I guess that's all the products. So now I'm going to just talk about TTC, which is trying to conceive. So if you're not interested in that, no hard feelings. I had been going to my gynecologist since August, trying to conceive journey. And the first month was basically doing the yearly pap smear and all that stuff and getting blood work done. And then like around September or October, I started on Prevera to get my monthly cycles going, because I have PCOS and they just disappeared. And I know for a fact that they disappeared because I gained weight. Just to backtrack a little, back in 2007, I was like over 300 pounds. My cycles were, I didn't have a period for a long time. And I had lost like 50 pounds, about 50 pounds in less than 2 months. And before the end of the summer, I remember I was coming back from a vacation during the summer. I had started my period for the first time in a long time, because I had gotten down to a certain, I'd lost more than 20% of my weight. I probably lost about 30. I don't know how much I lost. Anyway, I'd lost a significant amount of weight, and so they returned. And because of that, I am confident to know that if I lose weight, they'll probably get back to normal. Doesn't mean I'm going to ovulate every time or anything, or I'm going to conceive, but it would show me that I'm doing my part. And that's why I'm motivated again to lose weight. I'd done the HCG and I lost about 30 pounds and maintained it. But before then, I'd gained 70 pounds back from what I'd lost in 2007. Of course, that happened over years, So I started HCG in last year, about last October, November. And I'd lost the 30 pounds. I lost like 20 pounds in the next round. I lost a little bit more. And I didn't maintain any after that, because I did 4 rounds altogether. So anyway, when I started my period back in 2007, again, I was about the weight I am now, maybe a little more, but for some reason it didn't come back this time. So I'm just considering this my starting point, and I'm trying to get down the 20 or the 10%. Of course I want to get down more, because I want to look cute if I ever do get pregnant. I want to be able to tell. I don't want to just look like I've gotten fatter. I want to be able to tell I'm pregnant. But anyway, also to help regulate my cycles, we had done Prevera, and you take it for like 5 days, and then about a week later you end up starting, and then you take Clomid, and that's what I did. I did 3 rounds of that and never ovulated. I know I went way off track telling you more about the diet, but anyway, that was just a long story short. I never ovulated, and this last cycle was very emotional for me, because I had upped my dose yet again of Clomid, and I went and got the sonogram to see how the follicles were doing, and we had one that was so big that the trigger shot was too late for the trigger shot, which we planned to do. And so everybody was all, encouraged and everything, and just knew I was going to be ovulating within the next few days. And about 3 days later, I got a positive on my ovulation predictor kit. First one I ever had. I was so happy just for that. I was like on top of the world, thinking I'm working with medicine. But considering the other rounds of Clomid did nothing for me, I was like, oh, finally we got the right dosage, and it's working. And also I was charting my temps, which now I know that that's bogus because I was on Clomid, so it probably really didn't mean anything. But everything pointed to the fact that I'd ovulated. So fast forward to the 2-week wait. You know, we did the baby dancing like you're supposed to. We did every other day, and then my fertile days we did every day, and then you know, skipped a day to re-energize the boys, and then did one more time. And then it was the 2-week wait. That is the hardest ever. You know, I'd always hoped I was, you know, pregnant just on a chance. But this one, after seeing the positive OPK, I was just so encouraged. I had so much hope. And so the 2-week wait came and went. Never start, you know, and I know the TTC community calls it AF for Aunt Flo, and then the dieting community calls it TOM for time of the month. Well, Aunt Flo, Tom, Uncle Bill, whoever you're going to call it, did not show up. I tell you, Tom and Aunt Flo both do not like fat girls, or do not like this fat girl, because he didn't show up. I have to send out special invitations and promises for this, for my cycle to come. Never showed up. I was like, well, maybe I'm pregnant. I had been taking home pregnancy tests since, I think, 9 days past ovulation, and I was just for sure that it was going to just show up, and I even thought I had implantation spotting. Well, long story short, no, I didn't ovulate. All the signs pointed to it, but I didn't. And so I went and did the sonogram, and that follicle never released an egg. What it did is it just kept growing and growing and growing into it was a cyst. And this was last Tuesday, and my doctor came back, and you know, she looked really down, and she said, "I'm sorry, you know, it didn't work out for you." And then she starts talking about having surgery to remove the cyst, and possibly have to remove my ovary, and it could be cancerous. And I mean, I'm sitting here like this the whole time she's talking to me. I mean, I was just like, I couldn't even think straight, because it was just like a shock. I don't know why it was a shock, but I was like, what the hell? You know, the OPK said I ovulated, lady. You're wrong. You're a doctor, and you looked up in my insides to look at that, but you are wrong. I ovulated, but I didn't. And I wasn't pregnant, obviously, because I didn't ovulate. There was no egg. And it was I was an emotional wreck after that, hence the emotional eating last week. And it was just sad to me. I was very down, and then I started feeling better, and I was like, okay, I'm going to get a second opinion. Even though it was going to be a laparoscopic surgery, it's supposed to be a day surgery, it wasn't that, I mean, it was serious, but not that serious. People have them a lot, you know, it's just something that happens. The Clomid most likely caused the cyst to grow so fast, even though I do have cysts anyway and get them. The Clomid didn't help. It's like I had 2 strikes against me, having PCOS, then the Clomid, and it just happens. It just happens. And it was, the cyst last week was 7.6 centimeters, and to me that just sounded awful. And I didn't know at the time, because she had told me, but like I said, I was in a fog, so I didn't know at the time that it was so big. In this video, it may not even upload, so I'm going to stop it here, and I will restart, and I'll do a part 2. Thanks. I'll be back.